I just decided, Missy, you can sit here and be depressed and, have nothing in your life but to think about your chronic pain, or you can go hit the road and see beautiful stuff. And you know what I discovered, folks, is when I did that, I don't focus on my chronic pain like I used to.
Hi, I'm Beth, the Slow Lane Rambler. Come join us for a fireside chat and some real talk about van life.
So my name is Judy Coonan. I am 51. This is Phoebe. She's 10 months old. And I have been on the road for a full year, and then I lived in my van for a full year before that, so 2 years. I've been full-time for 2 years. Or lived in my driveway, sorry, in my van.
What kind of rig are you in?
I am in a 94 Pleasureway, and I love her. Her name is Vanilla Mons. Vanilla is a pixie who brings the winds in. So some of the Greek goddesses take the winds out. She's the one who brings the winds back in from sea, bringing the lost home.
Nice.
And I just thought that was so amazing. So Vanilla is the nymph who did that. And then Vanilla Mons is a mountain on Mars that they named after Vanilla, the pixie
very
girl.
cool.
Yes, so
Yeah.
That's very cool. So I'm Teresa. I'm 65. I just retired. I have been in my van, which is my big debacle. That's the big debacle right there. I've been in her for about a year and a half, stealthing mostly. So this actually is my first trip out. Now that I have retired, this is my first trip out, and Missy is being kind enough to show me all the wonderful places that we can camp and give me all kinds of advice on it. So
Nice.
it's been really great. She did. She felt sorry for me. She took me under her wing. It's been great.
Oh my gosh. My name's Missy Martin. I'm 64, but a new 64, let's put it that way. September, just last month. And then I'm driving Roxy, my 2020 Ram ProMaster.
I thought I might have wanted a Ram, but I fell in love with my debacle before.
Hey, it was meant for
Yeah.
you.
It was meant for me. It absolutely was.
And if you hear any grumping in the background, that's just Ted. What made you want to start van life?
So I was at a point in my life where I was very depressed. Between menopause and other things, it was a really, really rough point in my life. Before COVID, although, that just added another layer there. Yes, hello to babies. And I started watching YouTube. Believe it or not, before 2018, I had not watched YouTube. And I started watching YouTube I needed diversion. I needed diversion in my life. This is how I handle problems. I push them over to the side and pretend they're not real. and I divert my attention.
I'm just kidding.
That's what I do. So I started watching YouTube for diversion, and one of the things that I found was YouTubers working, doing the van life. Some of them were working in their vans. Some of them were traveling the country. There was a lot of Instagram type van life stuff going on at the time, which I was like, yeah, that's not right. But I have always loved camping. I have always loved traveling. I love to drive. And I just started watching all those videos. That was around 2018, and it only took 6 years, or however long that was, to find my dream baby. But yeah, I knew I was retiring. I knew I couldn't afford to retire in Colorado because it's too expensive, and I have always wanted to travel more of America. I don't know if this is the best time on the planet to do it, but this is my time to do it, and I'm looking forward to it.
Nice.
One day it just dawned on me, I have a van. I could just take the van. And then I put in something about, van camping or whatever. And this whole van life thing, 2020. So just opened up. The doors opened up. There was a Of course, I can't think of his name now, but the big van guy.
Bob Wells?
Yeah, Bob Ross or Bob Wells.
Bob Ross.
He's not going to be insulted
I
by
sense
that.
that if Bob was still around,
Okay.
I think Bob Ross would be a van lifer too.
totally.
He could be an honorary nomad. I think that's perfect.
So then, yeah, it just, and then I accidentally found my van one day looking at Facebook. I was just looking at Marketplace, waiting for my kid to come out from high school, and I saw this van, and I just instantly was like, what is that? She was pink, and, inside was pink, and I was like, oh my God, she's gorgeous. What is it? And I was like, I have to go see. Hurry up, kid, get in the car. I got to go see this. And, it took all day long, but at 5:30, I'm there signing, for the bank, stuff and giving the money over, and I got the van that night,
Wow.
So it was accidental, but within a month I was so in love with her, I moved in with her, in the driveway for a year. I just couldn't help it. I just wanted to be there. I knew where I wanted to be. First time.
Nice. What made you want to do van life?
Very easy. I was 62 and lived in a top floor apartment in Colorado where it's so expensive. I had to have a roommate, which there was a silver lining because I gained a brother out of it. But I would sit in my room in my recliner, dealing with chronic pain all day long, and you can't think of anything else, so you watch TV, you take your mind off of it. And I did that for a number of years. And all of a sudden one day, because all I watch is YouTube for the last several years, a video came up, Bob Wells. And no van life videos had ever come up on my feed, ever. It's always the same stuff that I like to watch. And one day, one of Bob Wells' videos came up about why pay rent or a mortgage when you can, something about live van life much cheaper, something like that. And so I started watching it, loved it, marathoned it for a long time, like 2 weeks. And not just his, but all kinds of people. It was like a whole new world opened up to me. And 3 weeks later, I had Roxy, my van.
Aww.
And so, yeah, I've been doing it now just 2 years since August.
Nice.
And loving it. I'm like all in. I love it.
What's the most surprising part of van life for you?
How content with myself I am, probably.
Yeah.
Because I don't always travel with friends. I mean, I do solo trips too. And there was a time before I discovered van life when I was married, and even after the divorce. I've been divorced 14 years. So the last 14 years, I wouldn't take a road trip by myself. I was terrified. There's killers, murderers out there, rapists on every corner. This my brain telling me. So I had never done a single solo trip in my life until van life, when I went to my first 2 years ago, WRTR and RTR. And that was my first road trip, and I was hooked from then on.
Oh. Okay, what's the most surprising aspect of van life? Anybody? Judy?
I want to say the freedom from that fear as well. We went to Alaska. I went with you to Alaska, and I'm going to go there and I'm going to be, just terrified that somebody was going to hurt me. There was going to be some mountain man, that was going to,
Sure.
Yeah. And the bears and the whatever. But it was really the freedom of just being there, and the amount of courage that I felt was huge. I mean, I felt courageous and empowered and, just peaceful and, tranquil and, just a whole new life.
Nice.
Van
Teresa?
stock 2025.
What's been most surprising for you so far?
I would say the most surprising thing is learning how little I need stuff. I got rid of a lot of stuff before I moved into my van, but I still have a lot of it in storage. And I'm already going, most of that has to go. I mean, it really has to go. I'll be lucky if by the time I'm done with it, if I have a 3x3 cube worth of stuff, mementos and things like that. And even in the van, I'm like, I have too much stuff in there now. I have more clothes than I need. I have plenty of food because I'm always cautious. I don't want to run out of food. But, I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. But the surprising part of it is how often I turn around and say, oh, you know what? I've been in my van now for a year and a half, and you know what? I have never used that. I probably don't need it.
Right?
Yeah,
You know?
it's true for all of us.
Yeah, very true. So, I mean, we have a lot of positives, and I love my van, love it. But what are the downsides? I mean, realistically, you know, a woman who's watching this and is considering it, what would be a downside in your opinion? You know, a realistic one, not a fear one, but a real one. Yeah.
A realistic, true to life is keep a maintenance amount of money growing because you're going to be driving so many thousands of miles all the time, and you're carrying a lot of weight on that van. Your tires won't last. Like I spent $1,200 2 years ago when I got the van on new tires, and I was just told this is my last winter on these tires. So that's an expense. And then if something, I've been very fortunate with stuff, but you know, you got to get the you have to keep the maintenance up, and you got to have that money. So I actually opened up my first savings account since I lived in Colorado 23 years. My very own, and you know, don't have much in it, but I'm going to build it up. I'm committed to saving in my maintenance account. You know,
Smart advice.
That's the reality there.
Anybody else have a downside that, you know, not a fear-based one, but a real downside that's...
Downside. If you're stealthing, if you're staying in the city or something, you have to move a lot, and you really have to be comfortable with learning the rules of the road. And you'll learn a lot on YouTube. YouTube will tell you a lot of what you need to know for stealthing. You need to understand that stealthing isn't what it used to be, because you can pretty much look at a van and say, oh yeah, there's somebody in there. But you learn the rules of the road. You learn the rules of the city, of living in a van. Don't leave crap behind don't leave trash behind when you're going somewhere. Don't leave trash behind. Be courteous of other people. Try and leave places better than when you arrived, and you'll rarely have a problem.
Yeah.
I have been fortunate in that I have never gotten a knock. They call the knock when somebody comes and knocks on your door, or usually a police officer. Missy can tell you a bit more about the knocks because she gets them. I don't get them. I'm an expert. She's an expert in the knock. She's had the knock. I have not had the knock. I've been very fortunate in that regard. But yeah, that's the roughest thing, is just moving all the time.
Yeah.
Finding several places that you can keep moving around. For me, I don't stay in a place more than one night, except if it's winter time and there's a snowstorm. And when I'm in there, you don't hear me, you don't see me, I don't go out of the vehicle for any reason, but then I don't have any pets. You know, especially I don't have a dog to walk, which would be really difficult when you're stealthing in town. Yeah, that's the roughest part for me.
Judy, do you have any thoughts or opinions on like a legitimate downside?
I mean, there just is a movement against van lifers and you know, making it out to be, you know, a lot worse than it is. But there's this mindset.
You know, and I don't consider myself homeless. No. I know that by certain rules, we're considered homeless, but I'm not homeless. That's my home. Yeah. I love my home. I love traveling.
We have a friend who likes to say, we're not homeless, we're houseless.
Yes. Houseless. Yes, exactly.
But we're not homeless.
We take care of our home, and we take care of the places where we go with our home. But then there definitely are people who don't give a hoot, and they're leaving trash everywhere. And that gives all of us a bad name, because we all get lumped in together. Yeah. And it's good to remember that we do all get lumped in together. Yeah. So it's up to us to, you know, keep our areas clean and live our life in such a way that we're not adding to the impression that we should be pariahs. Yeah. We're nomads. We're enjoying the road. We're enjoying this land that is so big and wide and has so many interesting people, such different cultures, you know, just down the road. There's so much here to see in America. And there's so much joy to be had. Saying that you shouldn't be able to live like that just makes no sense to me. You know, it's an expensive world. It's an expensive world, and to be able to find a way to be happy at this later stage in our lives and do some of the things we've always wanted to do, that should be made easier, not more difficult.
Yeah.
Not that I have an opinion about it.
This is like a dream come true, though.
Oh
I,
yeah,
I,
it is.
I just
It
am
is.
so thankful every single day I wake
Oh.
up and I'm surrounded by beautiful pines, or I'm in a desert, or I'm going to Montana for the first time in my life. This is a dream come true. This is retirement at its finest to me.
It is.
You know, a question that gets asked a lot by people who are thinking about the lifestyle or don't understand the lifestyle is, aren't you lonely?
The answer was, the thing I discovered is I've become content.
Yeah.
And I'm so content with my surroundings and myself and my cat. I just, I don't get lonely. Not in the 2 years I've been doing it. I cannot recall one time where I got lonely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little bit lonely. And I got her.
Yeah.
Like all my
Notice
needs.
I said I had
She,
that.
yeah, she covers those touch needs and the words of affirmation needs, and and then I people when I need to. I have a little extra areas that I can go and join online things and be part of a community as well anytime that I need, when I'm struggling, when I need socialization, when I whatever it is. So I have a little bit extra luck there.
Teresa?
I really like my own company.
Yeah.
Honestly, I do. I talk to myself. Yes, I do. And I answer myself. And sometimes the answer I get from myself is wrong, which can be rather confusing at times. I like to meditate. So it's perfect for that. I'm an extrovert who's also an introvert. I have to have recharging time. So, and I'm really shy, as you can tell. I'm really, really shy. So I have a hard time, no, I don't. I don't have a hard time at all. I don't. I'm a bit of an extrovert, and I use up all that energy. And then it's like, okay, now I have to go back into my home for a while and just be by myself for a while. It's a really good balance for me.
Good.
It is. But I understand how other people could be lonely. There are meetups all over the place, apart from the RTR, which I'm going to my first one this year. I can't wait. There's the Butterfly Tribe, like on Facebook. There's all kinds of them. There's local places that have meetups on these. I don't really know how to find them because I'm new at this, but you guys probably do. There's all kinds of meetups where you can meet people who are like-minded and love this life. And I don't think there's any dearth of an ability to find people. Just
What's the best thing you've seen?
Okay, well, while y'all think, it was last summer I took a solo trip, and I went from Colorado to northern Wyoming, over to Idaho, to Montana, drove all across the state, down to South Dakota and all. It was fabulous. But one time I was camping, boondocking near Yellowstone National Park. And Jake and I were in a dispersed camping place, and Jake woke me up in the morning, and what woke me up was the sound of him trying to open my window covers. And so I'm like, okay, what do you want to see? And then he's looking out the window, and I'm opening my eyes. I'm like, what are you looking at? And I look out, him and I both are looking out the window, and there's two massive moose about 10 feet away from me, and they were just munching on the bushies there.
Oh.
I've never seen that in 74 years until then.
Wildlife,
that was it.
absolutely.
Judy, do you have an answer? Or are you still thinking on it?
I mean, it's all amazing. I come from a world of, trauma that I didn't understand that I had. And once I learned that I had it, trying to care for myself was very different than you would think caring for yourself is. Moving into my van and leaving my kids behind was self-care for me. So it's all about figuring it out, figuring it out without kids, figuring it out, what I can do and what I can't do and what I'm okay with and what I'm not okay with. As a new empty nester, that's what I get to figure out now.
Yeah.
And to have the space to do that, and to have the ability to be kind with myself about it, while I'm going through it. So I mean, this is all a whole new growth for me.
Yeah. And Teresa, what's the best thing you've seen so far?
Well, I haven't been much of anywhere yet, in this life, but I would have to say that tree right there. Micro things just bring me pleasure.
Yeah.
A group of asters. Back here in these woods, it has dropped a plethora of pine cones are just all over the ground over there. And when the sun shone just a certain way and the shadows were a certain way, I tried to get a picture of it. There's just a forest of pine cones all around the ground. Just little things like that, I don't know, they just lighten my heart. This world is so beautiful.
Yeah.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. And, we could all make it more beautiful, but just little things. It doesn't take much.
I have encountered many senior women who are curious about this lifestyle, who are considering this lifestyle, who are afraid. And what words of advice would you give, specifically a senior woman who's thinking about doing this? Anybody?
Start in your driveway. You learn everything you need and you don't need. You can pack your van 500 times and it's okay, or your car, or your whatever. It's always safe. I need a little more sleep tonight. I'm going to go into the bed. And it's okay. The bathroom's right there. You learn everything. Don't be afraid to just test it out. I tested it for a full year, and because I didn't think I was going to stick to it. I have no idea, but I didn't think I was. I was like, let's just try.
I love that. I love that.
Any other advice, ladies, that you'd give?
I
Words of
have-
wisdom? Yes.
Yeah. Remember I said earlier that I had never taken a solo trip or a road trip by myself anywhere. I was terrified, like I said, of getting hurt, basically, or murdered or something. And it was all in my brain. And I was terrified at first at the thought of going to RTR by myself, because I'm in Colorado and that's in West Arizona, And so I just decided, Missy, you can sit here and be depressed and, have nothing in your life but to think about your chronic pain, or you can go hit the road and see beautiful stuff. And you know what I discovered, folks, is when I did that, I don't focus on my chronic pain like I used to.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't even realize I'm having it until I sit down finally for a while or something. But it's nuts. It's crazy. It is very therapeutic. And I've also become the strong woman I never knew I could be. And I can fix things on my van. It's just amazing. Don't waste any more time.
Teresa?
Do what you need to do to feel safe. Some people will feel safe if they have a pew-pew, in their vehicle. Some people will feel safe with a stun gun. Do whatever you need to do to feel safe. You will find out that it's a lot safer out here than you think it is, but do what you need to feel safe. Make sure you have locks for your doors. There's all kinds of safety tips all over YouTube on how to stay safe, especially as a solo woman traveling all over the place. There's all kinds of stuff. Do what you need to do, and it's okay. It's okay to be afraid at first. It's okay to learn new things. It's okay to change your mind. You're gonna trip over your own feet all the time. So here's one thing that everyone should know. Regardless of whether you have defensive weapons in your vehicle or not, always follow your intuition, your instinct. If your instinct tells you that you're in the wrong place, leave.
Yeah.
Okay? It's never wrong. It's never wrong to follow your instinct. If it says you're in a bad place, leave.
Yeah.
And make sure that you can leave when you're parked in the middle of the night. Make sure that you can leave and leave. Follow your instincts.
Good.
It'll be fine.